Hey, Tony Gasson here. Now listen, let me talk to you about this here Manosphere because it's still growing and I really don't know what it is or what it means. But I want to help you understand something. Remember, you have heard people speak from where they are. So a lot of men, they will call me a simp. They call me a simp because I am not bashing women and because I'm not making excuses for men. I hold women accountable. I hold men accountable. But as soon as these type of men and these type of women hear something that they don't like, as soon as they hear something that doesn't play into their narrative or into their belief system, then they call you a name and they label you something that you are not. So if a man talked to my wife, she will tell that man that I'm the furthest thing from soft and from a pushover and from a weak man. My wife almost had to leave me in our marriage because of the way I was talking to her, because of how harsh my words were, because of how direct and doggish I was with my energy and my attitude. Because I come from being a womanizer. I come from never having been hurt knowingly by a woman. The one time that a woman slept with other guys that I knew of was a Caucasian female in college that I dated for 1 year. But when I found out that she had slept with 5 other guys, they were all black guys. She was Caucasian. So it spoke to her desires, her fantasies, her experiment that she was in. But in that 1 year, I had slept with 8 other females. So I couldn't really be upset because she just did what I did. A lot of men, not every woman's gonna do that. Some women, a classy woman just gonna leave. She gonna break up, she just gonna leave. A classy woman is not gonna put her health and her body at risk because her man is a dog. A classy woman isn't going to become a dog because a man become a dog. But what happened is there's so many men who think with their little head. They pick a woman with their little head. So that young lady, she was not the cutest. And most of the women that you grow up around, you're not falling out over them. You don't think they the best looking thing in the world. But what happened is when men get a little bit of money or men get a job or men get some type of success or get some type of position, a lot of men get a woman with a little head instead of their big head. And when they get this woman, what they don't realize about a lot, not all, a lot of the most beautiful women have the ugliest stories because we live in a man's world. So if a woman's face is symmetric and she looks like the standard of American beauty or beauty in whatever country she's in, she then becomes prey. And there are men who are perverted, who are disgusting, who are low lives, who will prey on women who are not of age. And so there are men who have gotten to women who may be a girl and seen as cute or pretty or beautiful, and she may be 10, 12, 15, being prey at the hands of men who are adults, who have money, They have status or opportunity. And this young lady is being raised around wolves. She's drawn to this man. And then she gets used, she gets abused, she gets mistreated. And so what happens is she adapts. She adapts and she says, if men are going to use me, I'm going to use them. And now where she was prey, she makes certain men prey. So men that are not on her level looks wise, men who she knows she will be a prize to, she gets those men. And she uses those men. She gets money from those men. She gets clothes from those men. She gets rent paid. She gets cars. She gets jewelry. She gets exotic trips. And she uses the man. But because she doesn't believe in real love, she doesn't believe in a genuine man, she doesn't believe in the male species being able to grow and change and evolve, she gets what she can get. And then a man comes and he falls in love with her because of her beauty and her booty, not because of her character, not because of her history, her past, her resume, not because of her present, not because of her mindset and her personality and the way she carries herself. He falls in love with her beauty and her booty. Then he gets played. He gets used. And while she may be faithful and loyal, while things are going good, when he takes a stupid pill and he talks to her the wrong way, or he treats her the wrong way, or he does something she doesn't like, it is then open season. And then she stops being loyal. She stops being faithful. And she seeks revenge because she refuses to be used and to be played by another man, especially a man that she looks down on. She looks at him like Kermit the Frog. She looks at him like Humpty Dumpty. She looks at him like Pinocchio, Sambo. She looks down on this man and she says, listen, you are not tall, dark, and handsome. You are not him. And yet you're cursing at me. Yet you're controlling me. Yet you're calling yourself an alpha male. Yet you're listening to these men who call themselves alpha male, and you're treating me like property. You treating me like a piece of meat. I got something for you. She plays the game and she beats him at the game. He wakes up one day and he realizes she's been cheating on him. She's been out here doing what has been done to her, because it's a learned behavior when it comes to women. That's not the nature of women. Look at any woman. It ain't the nature of a woman. She learns and she adapts because of the world she in. It's women who are successful and got money and got all of this, and they will tell you they've been touched inappropriately by men from the age of 2 or 3. Men have to be honest about that. If you give a woman a great father and a safe environment, she's going to grow up to be a classy and respectable and responsible person. If you give a man a great father and a respectable environment, he still could end up trying to violate a woman in college. It has happened over and over and over. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. And that's not to say every and all, but majority. And that's what you have to look at and realize. When you meet a woman with a great father, she moves totally different. Or a great mother, she moves totally different. But especially if she got a great father, she moves totally different than a woman who was turned over to wolves and savages. So what you have to realize is that people speak from where they are. So when you hear these men in these spaces of toxicity, and it sounds like they're against women, they're mad at women, and they're seeking an advantage, it's because of how they've been treated by women. And that is why a lot of times we don't see eye to eye, because I've never been mistreated by women. I've never been dogged out by women. I've never been controlled and used by women. Everything that I have done for a woman or with a woman has been my choice. And I have not had to suffer in the ways that a lot of men have had to suffer. But it's because I've never picked women with my little head. I pick women with the head on my shoulders. I don't pick a woman based on her booty and her beauty. I pick a woman based on who she is, her heart. Now, the woman I mentioned earlier, I really didn't take that serious. It really wasn't something I took serious. We dealt with each other for a year and kind of called ourselves, but it was play. I was 18. So it wasn't serious. But since then, I haven't had those issues, or even before then. And so I say that to say, any woman I've dealt with, even including my wife, like my wife didn't have a big butt. She didn't have a big butt. She didn't have a flat stomach with abs. She didn't have really big breasts. It's not like she was just like this walking body that guys were falling over. It was like, she's a pretty woman. She's become prettier even over time. She like fine wine, not like soda. She like wine. My wife get prettier every year. And to God be the glory. That's just how her family genetics is. So the more she ages, the more beautiful she becomes. And that's a good thing for me. Instead of it being the other way around, I done seen it the other way around. But that's not my wife's case. And having 2 kids, lifting weights, doing squats, it gave her a booty. She didn't have that. But what I married her for was her personality. I married her for her personality. I married her for her morals, her values. And she's pretty. I could look at her and say, wow, she's pretty. I could lust after her. It's not like I desire a woman that I'm not attracted to at all. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of times guys will get with a woman and it's all physical, and then try to build a relationship on physicality, on superficiality, and then get angry and resentful and hateful when it does not work out. You cannot build a mansion on the sand. And that honestly is no validity what the men in the toxic spaces are saying. It's truth in the sense of it's their truth. It's what they lived through. It's what they saw. It's what they experienced. But it's not a valid argument because it comes from a twisted perspective. It doesn't come from a pure place. It comes from, you was lusting after this woman for the wrong reasons. You did not evaluate her character and her personality and who she really was. You got with her and then you got played, and now you mad and you blaming women, and women this is women that. And men need to do this, men need to do that. And it's coming from a place of pain. It's coming from an unresolved place of pain. But when you evaluate the situation as a man and you real with yourself, you really then can say, listen, the problem ain't with women. I played myself. I played myself for not knowing and not being a real man, not accepting knowledge. I played myself. And then that's when things start to change for the better. So, hey, this Tony Gaston, God bless you. Just wanted to address that, let y'all know, don't take that stuff to heart. Just understand people speak from where they are. And that's why my message is not degrading to women and it's not degrading to men. I just call it down the middle because of the place that I'm at in my life. I'm not bitter. I'm not hurting. I'm not in pain. I'm not still angry at an ex. I'm not upset with my wife. I'm not hurting from my wife. So because of where I am in my life, that's why my message is more hunky-dory, more beautiful, more rose-colored glasses because of where I am in my life. I'm not in a place of despair and pain and vitriol. And so that's what has to be understood. So, hey, it's Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We'll talk soon.